Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming tonight. My name is Kristin Klonowski. I'm the adjunct professor of theater and the director of this production. We have hit quite a few milestones here with this rehearsal process, with this particular production, and I wanted to share some of those with you. So first of all, back in December when we held auditions, we had 31 people audition for this show. And according to David Burke, who's worked here for over 33 years, that was a record. And then, at that audition, the second day of auditions, at the very end of the second audition, I had a young man show up and mark the little box that said, sound. I'll do sound for your show. And I talked to him and he said he would. And about 3 weeks later, I get an email from this young man with 2 themes from the show that were composed by him. And now we have a completely orchestrated and composed show by our very own Ben Traynor. That was another milestone. I don't think we've ever done that. And of course, the next milestone is the one where we found out partway through our process that they would be shutting down the theater program. That was a big blow to all of us here at the theater. However, I have a stellar cast and crew who behaved admirably through it all. And of course, this will be our last main stage, large production that we have in the foreseeable future. Just like many of you, we have spent many weeks creating memories here and discovering new experiences that will shape the rest of our lives. So I'm proud to say that despite the sad news, that our cast has been determined to continue to tell this story. This story is about faith and hope. One of my favorite songs says, "Goodbye is not the end." In the midst of this trial, these students still have memories to create. My hope is that you will join me in celebrating these students as they bring you the story of the Count of Monte Cristo. Thank you.
Edmond?
Edmond, do you know what Providence is?
Who and what are you?
My name is Edmond Dantes.
Do you know what Providence is?
Mercedes.
Edmond.
Edmond Dantes, you are under arrest.
14.
I am unable to restore you to liberty.
Now there is a... I know.
Do you know what
It has
Providence is?
instilled in me. I was about to be married.
Edmond.
Your name is Mercedes.
Edmond Dantes, do you know what Providence is?
God is the will of God.
Providence.
Must avoid telling me.
My name is Mercedes. Mercedes.
Hey, surely go back.
Do you know what Providence is?
Danglars, my old friend and shipmate. Fernand, dearest friend to my beloved. Monsieur Gerard de Villefort, Honorable Deputy Prosecutor. Caderousse, who saw it all and said Nothing. Mercedes. Yes. I know what providence is. It is the will of God.
Of Roman women.
How unfortunate you're masked! Here's an opportunity for you! Well, there's the beginning of an adventure.
Laugh if you will. I have decided to be in love. The streets are not safe at night. So I've heard. And by whom do I have the honor of being kidnapped? Luigi Vampa, at your service. If you would be so good as to accompany me.
Show me.
This is not some romantic adventure, my friend. You will sign a letter. This letter demands a ransom to be delivered by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if the ransom is not delivered? I think you know, my friend. Here he is, sir, as you requested. Here, signed the ransom note and promptly went to sleep. Not bad for a man who was told he'd be shot first thing in the morning, eh? Awaken, sir!
Why? What time is it?
1:30, sir.
Has Franz come already?
He has not.
Then what is it?
A man to whom I can refuse nothing has come to demand you. May I present to you the Count of Monte Cristo?
Well, you really are most kind. But you must forgive me for asking who you are, and why you've chosen to bestow such generosity upon me.
I saw an opportunity. I've spent the last 8 years traveling the Orient, and I intend to visit Paris soon, a city I've never seen. As a stranger there, I have only to ask you, my dear Viscount de Morcerf, if you would undertake to open the doors of that fashionable world of which I know so little.
Oh, well, that I do with infinite pleasure. May I ask, how do you know my name? And how did you come to hear of my predicament?
By a very complicated route, but suffice to say, your friend Franz and I share a banker in Rome.
And how did you secure my release without paying for it? Again, please don't think me ungrateful.
It was nothing. Your host and I are old acquaintances.
Friends with bankers and bandits. Are you truly a count?
I am. Though newly made, I purchased my title in Tuscany.
Rich too. And where is this Monte Cristo?
I shall gladly tell you all about it. However, I believe we have overstayed the welcome of our gracious host, who would prefer we were not seen near his hideout by the light of day. If you will make your way toward the exit, I must have a brief word with Senor Vampa before we return to the city.
I'll wait for you on the road.
Sir, the Bonapartist. Forgive me, sir, the accused Bonapartist.
The sailor. Details.
We found this in his cabin on board the ship Faria.
This is all. Slim evidence, an anonymous note, and a packet of unopened letters. Where did you find him?
We found him at the wedding, sir. His.
I see. This man is having a singularly unfortunate day. Bring him in. I am the Deputy Prosecutor Gerard de Villefort. Who and what are you?
My name is Edmond Dantes.
Your age?
19.
This is all a misunderstanding, I am certain. And as soon as we clear it up, you will be on your way. But first we must observe the formalities. I want you to answer me not as a prisoner to a judge, but as one man into another. Do you understand?
I do.
What were you doing at the moment you were arrested?
I was about to be married, monsieur, to a woman I've been betrothed to for some 3 years now. Her name is Mercedes.
What truth is there in the accusation contained in this letter?
None at all.
Did you ever serve under the usurper Napoleon Bonaparte before his exile?
No, I did not.
This was found on board the ship Faria. Tell me of it.
Yes, sir. Leclerc, the captain, he took ill during our voyage, and, well, he died along the way. On his deathbed, he ordered me to make for Paris and receive a package there bound for Elba. He begged me to make sure this package reached its destination. It was the command of a superior officer and a dying man's last request. Surely you can understand that.
And to whom were you instructed to deliver this package?
To a Monsieur Noirtier.
What was the name?
Noirtier. Do you know him, Monsieur de Villefort?
Did you observe the contents of this package?
No, it was not my place.
Let's see. Tell me. Do you know what providence is?
Sir?
Providence is the will of God. It was providence that brought you here before me today.
I don't understand.
Edmond Dantes, I'm not able to restore you to liberty as soon as I had hoped. From this point on, you should avoid dwelling on what might be. You will surely go mad.
Look, I was to be married today. There must be something you can do. Please, Monsieur de Villefort! My name is Mercedes! Mercedes! Mercedes!
Well, really, I don't know. We were in Rome when I met him 3 months ago. Who knows where he may have gone in that time?
And he told you 3 months ago that he would meet you here, in your parlor today at precisely 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yes.
Is anyone capable of being so exact?
I think him capable of anything.
And where is this fabled Monte Cristo in which this man is lord and master?
It's an island. A grain of sand in the middle of the Mediterranean. I'm told smugglers use it, but honest sailors have no reason to go there unless they have a taste for goat.
Goat!
Apparently that's all the island has to offer, goats. And, somewhere, a cave full of gold and jewels.
Your count keeps his fortune in a cave? Oh, how very Arabian Nights of him.
But the cave, I admit, is a fantasy on my part. But everything else about the man is so exotic, I'd almost be disappointed if he didn't have a cave full of treasure somewhere.
10 o'clock, Albert.
Punctuality, I've heard it said, is the politeness of kings. Of course, you must excuse my 2 or 3 seconds tardiness. 500 leagues is not to be accomplished without some trouble.
My dear Count, Eugenie, this is the very man I've been telling you about. Monsieur le Comte, I have the honor of introducing to you one of my oldest, dearest friends, Mademoiselle Eugenie Danglars.
Mademoiselle.
500 leagues? Do you often travel 1,500 miles for a social visit?
Well, depends on who I'm visiting. But I delight in the exhilaration of speed, and my horses are bred to order.
You see? And he talks like that all the time.
But tell me, is your father not the Baron Danglars?
He is, Your Excellency. Do you know him?
I know of him, and I expect to make his acquaintance quite soon.
Really, do you play the markets, Count?
Well, it suits me. But tell me, when the Viscount and I were in Rome, there was some talk of a projected marriage. May I congratulate you?
Well, not yet, but my father's most anxious about it.
Well, I suppose it is in the nature of parents to be anxious about such things. This is impressive.
Do you like it?
Very much. Reminds me of a young Leopold Robert, but not quite. My dear Viscount, you don't strike me as a man of artistic aspirations.
Oh, and you would be correct. What you see there is an original work of one Eugenie Danglars.
Truly.
Albert's mother asked me to paint it for her as a gift to Count de Morcerf.
It is one of the finest I have seen. I shall commission a portrait of my own from you.
Oh, well, Count.
Oh, it would be my privilege, Count.
This really is extraordinary. No doubt your father treasures it, Albert.
Actually, this one seems to displease him for some reason. But between ourselves, my father may be a respected peer and renowned general, but his understanding of art is, well, mediocre at best. So I keep it here. You'll do me the favor of making no mention of this when you meet my parents. It seems to have a malign influence. My mother rarely looks at it without weeping.
You can rely upon me.
Ah, this is the friend I was so fortunate to meet in Rome. My father, the Count de Morcerf.
You are most welcome here, monsieur. My wife will be along shortly to thank you herself, but allow me to say that you have rendered our house a service which ensures our eternal gratitude.
It is a great honor to me, on my first day in Paris, to meet a man whose merit equals his reputation, General. I have read with great interest all about your service to the late Pasha of Yanina.
Yes, well, I only wish those events concluded in a more favorable outcome.
Truly, the Pasha was a great man, by all accounts.
And this is my mother, the Countess. Mother, this is the Count of Monte Cristo.
I've been waiting to meet you for so long this year. I owe my son's life to you, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to thank you. It's very fortunate for my son that he has found such a friend. Forgive me, monsieur, but you seem so familiar. Surely we've met somewhere before.
I don't see how, madam, as this is my first time in France.
Well, Count, my wife is hosting a ball next week, and you certainly must do us the honor of attending.
You're most gracious, but the hostess has not invited me.
Well, but of course she would want you there. Tell her, Mother.
Yes, of course. Please come.
I look forward to it then. Well, I thank you for your kindness, but I got out of my traveling carriage at your door this morning, and let's go see what sort of lodgings have been procured for me.
You haven't seen your own house yet. Where is it?
I believe I have it. Ah, yes, here it is. Number 30, Champs-Élysées.
Never before in Paris, and you have a house in the Champs-Élysées. You obviously have some genie at your control.
Spread that idea. It will be worth something to me among the ladies. And I do hope you will indulge me what I hope will be the first of many lengthy conversations about painting.
I look forward to it.
Excellent. Good day.
Albert, what sort of name is Monte Cristo?
Well, just a title, I believe. The Count purchased an island and he named himself after it.
Well, his manners are perfect. I mean, as far as I could judge in the few moments he was here. Do you think the Count is really what he appears to be?
Why, what does he appear to be?
He seems a man of distinction. And we have every right to show him our gratitude, but Albert, be prudent.
Well, there you have it. I knew he would create a sensation, and his mother's so fascinated by him. He must indeed be remarkable.
This is the place. Bendedtto?
Yes, Count.
Here's the telegram. Be sure it arrives at precisely
Quarter past, I know.
Meet me here when it's done. Baron Danglars.
Ah, Captain, so good of you to call. My daughter Eugenie could talk of nothing else last night but the mysterious Count of Monte Cristo.
I had the opportunity to view one of your daughter's paintings. She is quite gifted.
Yes. Well, we must all have our little hobbies, no?
Indeed. Well, down to business, Baron. I believe by now you should have received a letter from Agent in Rome allowing me to open up a line of credit with you here in Paris.
Yes. Well, that is to say...
I trust everything is correct. You did receive the letter.
Yes, but, well, the letter gives you unlimited credit.
Yes.
The term unlimited in financial affairs is extremely vague.
It is, in fact, unlimited.
May I have some indication of how much you propose to draw?
See, I have no idea. I suppose if I did know, I would not need unlimited credit, now would I?
Of course.
Listen, sir, if you were unable to provide the funds I require, I have letters from the other banking houses.
Oh, no, I will of course provide you with
whatever. Fine. Excellent. Be kind enough then to send me 500,000 francs in cash tomorrow. If I'm not home, you may leave it with my steward. Good day, Baron.
Count, forgive me, but I thought I was acquainted with all of the great fortunes in Europe. This is the first I have heard of yours. May I presume to ask how long you have been in possession of it?
It's been in the family a long while. Sort of treasure. expressly forbidden to be touched for, a number of years. It only came available recently.
I see.
I imagine I appear as something of an enigma to you, Baron. Don't worry. You will be better informed about me before long.
Excuse me. I didn't realize my husband had business this morning.
My dear, allow me to present the Count of Monte Cristo. He has been warmly recommended to me. Count, this is my wife, the Baroness Hermione Danglars.
Ah, of course. My daughter Eugenie speaks quite highly of you. She says you arrived just yesterday from the extreme end of the globe. Is this true?
Not this time. I merely come from Cadiz.
Oh, well, you have chosen most unfavorable time for your visit, I'm afraid. Paris is a horrible place in the summer. I do hope you found suitable lodgings.
Suitable enough for me. I'm at number 30 Champs-Élysées.
Number 30?
I say, I know that place. My dear, wasn't in your family for a time.
It was, a long time ago.
Really? How extraordinary. Well, you must do me the honor of paying a visit sometime. I wonder if you will find the place much changed.
That sounds lovely.
Well, Barrett, this has been most satisfactory, madam. Good day.
Yes? Hermione? Baroness?
Yes.
Was there something you wished?
Oh, yes, this telegram just arrived for you.
Ah, well, it appears I shall have to sell off the Spanish funds and quickly. Are you all right?
What? Yes, I'm fine. Did you say you were selling the Spanish funds?
Yes.
That can't be right.
I paid good money for this information. It has never led me wrong before. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes. I'm just going to lie down for a bit. Let me know what becomes of this.
Of course, dear.
Pardon me if I disturb you, friend. May I speak with you?
Begone, sir, you've the right to beg here.
I'm not begging, my fine fellow. I only wish to say 2 or 3 words.
What do you want? Speak quickly.
I want you to take me up in your fine carriage and carry me back to town. Master Bendedtto.
What did you call me?
Oh, please, don't think that I want to glory riding in your fine carriage. It's only because I'm tired. And also because I have a little business to talk over with you.
Who are you?
Oh, don't remember me. Why, you ruined me, Bendedtto. All that time we spent together at the Pont du Var before the prison ship sailed. And then, there I was, chained to an oar, and you were nowhere to be seen. Why, what could have happened to my dear friend Bendedtto?
I warned you, Caderousse, you're mistaken.
Ah. And here I was, worried you might not recognize me. And look at you with a carriage and fine new clothes. You must have discovered a mine, or else become a stockbroker.
What do you want?
I want to know about all this. It is a blessing when good fortune happens to friends.
No business of yours. It's a family matter.
Well, that friend of yours, the one you were talking to just now, he looks rich.
You want money?
Not much. Enough to live comfortably. In exchange, I promise to spoil whatever game you have going with this fellow.
Fine. Tell me where to find you.
Ah, no. I know what happens to your friends when they get on your bad side, Bendedtto. Why do you think I waited until you were in public before approaching you? I'll find you. I think 500 a month should be sufficient.
Fine. Get out of my sight.
Until our next meeting, Bendedtto.
Well done.
It arrived then. The telegram?
It did. You routed it properly?
Everything just as you said. It should look like it came just from Spain.
Good. Who was that?
Just some beggar. How to go with the Baron.
Everything is on schedule. Go fetch the carriage.
When do we see Via for?
Go fetch the carriage.
Yes, Count.
Right on schedule. Haydee,
Yes,
may I enter?
you may. Why do you always ask permission?
Haydee, you know that we are in France now.
Of course.
And you know that by law, no one on French soil may be held as a slave? Here you are, absolute mistress of your actions. You may choose to go abroad or remain in your apartments, whatever most pleases you. You can go anywhere. See anyone, you're free.
Free to do what?
Whatever you wish.
You know what I wish.
I do.
It's your wish, too.
It is.
Then why would I want to see anyone else?
It's almost time. Are you sure you want to do this?
Will he be there?
Of course, it's his house.
Then yes. I must know for certain. What of Bendedtto?
What of him?
You like to think of me as your daughter? Doesn't that make him your son? We're a family of sorts. But he's still new to this. He needs a careful hand.
I will look after him as best I can.
And what of you? What do you need?
Haydee, I could be your father.
You could be, but you aren't. The love I have for you is much different than the love I have for my father.
Are you sure you're ready?
Yes.